the past, the world has been ruled by some of the great kings, and for this reason, the word king has often always been associated with influential positions and immense wealth, making common people look up to them in awe. However, even in the present world, monarchs possess fortunes that surpass the imagination of most people, solidifying their status as some of the wealthiest individuals in existence. But do you know who these royals are? Probably not. In today's video, we'll bring you the list of the 12 richest kings in the world, so without further ado, let's get into it. At number 12, we have the Emperor of Japan, Naruhito, who comes from an ancient royal house called the Imperial Royal House. Naruhito, whose full name is Naruhito Masahito, was born in 1960 in Tokyo, Japan. He's the eldest son of Emperor Akihito and Empress Michiko. And being the elder son, he was declared as crown prince in 1991, and after the abdication of his father in 2019, he sat on the Japanese throne. But as a ruler of Japan and head of the royal family, his power is mostly ceremonious, as Japan is a democracy that believes in limiting the power of the monarchy. But he still holds greater financial power in the nation, as he holds more than 1,500 hectares of land, with more than $30 million, apart from his vast land holdings. He also has palaces like the Kyoto Imperial Palace, which is worth more than $20 million, or the most majestic palace, the Imperial Palace, which holds a special place in Japanese history, culture, and the hearts of Japanese people. And it's considered an iconic symbol of the nation, and due to this reason, the estimated price of this cultural masterpiece is around $12.5 billion. And all this takes the worth of His Majesty to be more than $300 million. Next, we have Emir Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, the ruler of Kuwait. Your Highness was born in 1937, and as the eldest son of Sheikh Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, but after the passing of his father in September 2021, Emir Nawaf succeeded him and became the 16th Emir of Kuwait. However, being the head of Kuwait, which is already a monarchy, he holds most of the control over his nation. Now, coming to his personal wealth, the net worth of the Emir is around $600 million, and a significant portion of his wealth is generated through various state-owned oil refining and exporting companies, such as Kuwait Petroleum Corporation and Kuwait Oil Company, which contribute over $400 million in revenue to the Emir. Apart from the controlling of the major sector of Kuwait, his control is spread in even minor sectors of the nation, like hospitality, real estate, tourism, and steelmaking. And he controls all of them with the help of Kuwait's sovereign wealth fund called Kuwait Investment Authority. This giant fund is responsible for managing more than $500 billion worth of assets worldwide. Speaking of assets, Emir Nawaf also inherits some of the majestic palaces of the world, including the official residences of the Emir, the $600 million worth of Bayan Palace, which is spread over 1,399,500 square meters. And at number 10, we have King Abdullah II of Jordan. Abdullah bin al-Hussein was born 1962 in Amman, Jordan. He's the eldest son of King Hussein of Jordan. He became king in 1999 after the death of his father due to cancer. This unexpected event led to Abdullah's swift ascension to the throne at the age of 37. With this, he finally became the head of state, possessing power to appoint prime ministers, dissolve the parliament, and exercise other constitutional powers. Apart from getting exclusive constitutional and political power in the nation, the King of Jordan inherited various business assets around the world worth $100 million, or $251 million worth of funds in the Swiss bank. Apart from this, he's also inherited royal assets, like the Zahran Palace, worth more than $200 million, and the official residence of the king, called Ragadan Palace. This is a grand royal compound where the king and his family live a luxurious life, and the estimated price of this palace is more than $500 million. Apart from this, the king owns a vast global network of real estate properties, including 3 adjacent luxury residences in Malibu, California, that have a price tag of $80 million. Now, all this takes the net worth of this 61-year-old king to be around $750 million. Next, we have Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, King of Bahrain, from the Royal House of Khalifa. His Majesty was born in 1950 in Riffa, Bahrain. He was the third son of Sheikh Isa bin Salam Al Khalifa, the ruler of Bahrain at the time. However, in 1990, after the passing of his father, he ascended to the Bahrain throne and became the King of Bahrain. His ascension marked a significant turning point in Bahrain's history, as his leadership is known for a commitment to modernization, reform, and political stability. However, this king is also famous for possessing huge wealth. Now, starting from his inheritance, he owns vast private land in Bahrain and across the UAE worth more than $100 million. Besides this, he owns a range of royal palaces, but the most prominent of them is Al Shakir Palace, which is one of the primary residences of the Bahrain royal family, and it's worth $400 million. This grand palace contains all the luxuries of life, like a helipad, multiple pools, and more than 100 rooms. Now, coming to his sources of income as a king, his income is primarily derived from the country's national assets and resources, especially Bahrain's rich oil reserves, as part of the profits generated from the sale of oil and gas resources contributes to the king's net worth, which is now more than $800 million. At number 8, we have Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of Qatar, who hails from the prestigious Al Thani dynasty. Born June 3, 1908 in Doha, Qatar, Sheikh Tamim ascended to the throne on June 25, 2013 after the abdication of his father, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani. As the Emir of Qatar monarchy, Sheikh Tamim holds substantial power and authority over his nation, and he uses his power to shape Qatar's domestic and foreign policies. But his power is not only limited to politics, but he also controls major economic industries of the nation, like real estate, construction, transportation and logistics, and even the banking and finance sector. All these sectors pour money from all sides for the nation, as well as for this 43-year-old ruler of Qatar. The net worth of the king is around $1.6 billion. However, a large portion of the emir's revenue comes from Qatar's abundant natural resources, particularly its extensive reserves of natural gas controlled by Qatar Petroleum. It's Qatar's state-owned oil and gas company worth $25 billion, which is involved in the expansion, production, refining, and distribution of petroleum products. Apart from this, he also controls $450 billion worth of Qatar's sovereign wealth fund, Qatar Investment Authority, which has stakes in multi-million-dollar companies like a 6.8% stake in Credit Suisse, a 20% stake in Volkswagen, and a huge real estate investment in France worth almost $4 billion. Next, we have King Charles III of the United Kingdom. Charles Philip Arthur George was born in 1948 to his Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, and mother Princess Elizabeth, who later became Queen Elizabeth II. However, he became the King of the United Kingdom and the 14 other Commonwealth realms upon the death of his mother in September 8, 2022. As a king, Charles III holds no political power, but holds substantial amounts of wealth in the nation, which rose up dramatically after becoming a king. Now the net worth of this 74-year-old king is around $2.3 billion, and more than 90% of his wealth is the result of his royal inheritance. To start with, he owns more than 130,000 acres of real estate worth more than $500 million. Further, he has access to the extensive royal art collection worth more than $10 billion, which includes 7,000 paintings, 30,000 watercolors and drawings, 500,000 prints, countless photographs, tapestries, ceramics from some of the renowned artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Raphael. Apart from this, he also owns a vast range of palaces, from Windsor Castle to the king's official residence, James Place. Each of these palaces are worth millions, but the most iconic of his possessions is Buckingham Palace, worth at least $4 billion. However, it is to be noted that though these properties belong to the king, according to the law of the United Kingdom, the king is not allowed to sell them. At number 6, we have King Mohammed VI of Morocco. Mohammed bin Hassan was born on August 21, 1963 in Rabat. However, he ascended to the throne on July 23, 1999 after the death of his father, King Hassan II. Mohammed VI has a firm control in the nation both politically and financially, and due to this reason, Mohammed VI also plays a significant role in strengthening Morocco's diplomatic relations with other nations. In addition to his role as monarch, King Mohammed VI is recognized for his wealth. The net worth of this king from Africa is around $5 billion, and this comes from his using of his powers to control different sectors of the nation, not oil, but banking, mining, telecommunications, and agriculture. However, his biggest business asset is Société Nationale d'Investissement, or SNI, which has stakes in companies like Etijar Wafa Bank, and in a mining company called Manager, and even in a telecommunications company called Inwi. With all this investment, the SNI generates more than $600 million worth of revenue each year for the king. Apart from these companies, he has ownerships in some of the royal assets. The grandest of them all is the luxury residences and Dar Al Makassan Palace, which is worth more than $500 million. In addition, the king possesses a collection of valuable vehicles, like 500 expensive cars and a private jet G650 for his foreign visits. Coming up next is the ruler of the Emirate of Dubai, Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. This Royal Highness assumed the position of leadership in 2006. Since then, Dubai experienced a remarkable period of growth and development under King Mohammed's leadership. However, His Royal Highness is not only a respectable leader of the UAE, but also a prominent figure in the world of business and entrepreneurship. His entrepreneurial ventures and investments have significantly contributed to the immense wealth. Some of his major businesses include $130 billion worth of Dubai holding, which operates in various sectors, including real estate, hospitality, tourism, telecommunications, finance, healthcare, and even education. He also owns large groups like $30 billion worth of Dubai World and $1.2 billion worth of Miraz. Apart from all of this, the king also benefits from the income generated by Dubai's abundant natural resources, particularly its oil reserves, which make billions. And when it comes to palaces, the ruler of Dubai owns multiple palaces in the nation, but most notable properties in his possession is the most opulent Zabil Palace, which serves as his official residence to the king and his family. This palace has breathtaking architecture, lavish interiors, and extensive facilities benefiting the ruler of his stature. And all this wealth makes the net worth of the king worth more than $14 billion. Next, we have King Salam bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, who belongs to the powerful House of Saud. King Salman was born December 31, 1935 in Riyadh as the 25th son of King Abdulaziz. However, he ascended to the throne after the death of his half-brother, King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz, in 2015. Although Saudi Arabia, being a monarchy, allows this 87-year-old king to hold a significant financial, political, and influence in the country, in terms of personal wealth, King Salman's net worth is estimated to be around $25 billion. He has vast amounts of wealth, primarily derived from his inherited business assets and investments in various sectors, such as finance, real estate, and telecommunications, which makes $700 to $800 million for the king. But if there's a real contributor to his wealth, then it's the oil-producing industry. The king has stakes in the state-owned oil company, Saudi Aramco, which is estimated to be worth around $2.077 trillion, and this company is said to be making $2 to $3 billion for the king each year. Apart from this, he also owns some of the majestic royal assets, like the $150 million worth like the Qasr Al Hukm and Al Salman Palace. But the most important of them is the Al Yamama Palace of Riyadh, which is the official residence of the king with an estimated net worth of $1 billion. At number 3, we have the King of Brunei, Hassan al Bolkiah, from the Royal House of Bolkiah. Hassan al Bolkiah is the reigning king of Brunei, a small Southeast Asian nation on the island of Borneo. He ascended to the throne October 5, 1967, following the abdication of his father, Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin III. But more than his power, this king of Brunei is known for his vast wealth and opulent lifestyle, owning a collection of extravagant possessions and assets. It's estimated that his net worth exceeds $30 billion. The primary source of the king's wealth comes from Brunei's abundant oil and gas reserves, and King Hassan al Bolkiah has capitalized on his natural resources to make tons of money from Brunei's oil industry. This money shows from his luxurious lifestyle and his assets, like this place at $2 billion worth in Istana Nurul Iman Palace, his official residence, which is the largest residential palace in the world, with 1,788 rooms, 257 bathrooms, and extensive facilities. In addition to his palaces, his collection of cars is rumored to include over 7,000 luxury vehicles and is worth more than $5 billion. This includes rare and customized models from renowned brands such as Rolls-Royce, Bentley, and Ferrari. Next, we have the ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Born in 1961, Sheikh Mohammed became the ruler of Abu Dhabi on the 13th of May, 2022, after the death of his brother, Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Now, as the ruler and president of UAE, Sheikh plays a pivotal role in shaping the country's development and positioning it as a global player on the world stage. However, in terms of personal wealth, Sheikh Mohammed's net worth is more than $30 billion. And if you're wondering how he generates his colossal wealth, well, to start with, he possesses significant financial assets and investments in various sectors. Though the investment list of the king is too long, one of the biggest companies controlled by the king is a $276 billion worth Mubadala investment company, which is a sovereign wealth fund of the Abu Dhabi, which is involved in a wide range of sectors, including aerospace, energy, healthcare, technology, and real estate. Like other emirates of the UAE, Abu Dhabi's GDP depends on oil, and a substantial portion of this 62-year-old ruler's income is derived from his oil industry, which is estimated to be more than $3 billion. Apart from businesses, Emir owns extensive land and properties across Abu Dhabi and UAE, which also includes $500 million worth of a grand residence of the king called Al Bar. At number 1, we have the King of Maha, Maha Vajira Longkorn, also known as Rama X. Vajira Longkorn was born in 1952 to King Bhumibol Abdul Yadej, and he was made crown prince by his father at the age of 20. However, he ascended to the throne on October 13, 2016, after the passing of his father. Though he holds the position of king in the nation, his powers are not absolute. However, King Rama X possesses considerable wealth which is derived from inheritance, and this includes the official residence of the king called the Grand Palace of Bangkok, which is spread over 218,400 square meters, equipped with all the facilities like multiple pools, entertainment rooms, and even helipads. And according to some reports, is worth more than $1.5 billion. Apart from this, he also owns 16,000 acres of land across Thailand, but the true grandeur of the king shows from his collection of vehicles. To start with, he owns more than 100 expensive cars, 38 private jets, along with 2 Airbus, with a collective worth of $4 billion. And how can he afford all that? Well, a large portion of his income comes from rental property from his inherited land, but apart from that, he has investments in big companies, like his 23% stocks in the largest bank in Thailand, Siam Commercial Banking, along with 34% Siam Cement PCL, making more than $300 million for the king yearly. And all this takes the net worth of the king to be more than $35 billion. Thanks for watching. Comment down below about your favorite part, and also press the subscribe button and bell icon for regular updates.